Once upon a time, in the northwest region of the Yoruba kingdom, was the most beautiful tropical village called Iworu. Iworu village was known for its textile weaving and gold jewelry. Banke lived in Iworu with her parents and two other siblings. Her father, Gbadebo, was a rich merchant, while her mother, Olapeju, has a popular bamboo furniture store. Banke worked for her mother while her siblings worked for their father. Banke was a soft-spoken, beautiful woman. Her brown and radiant melanin skin was the first thing you would notice when you meet her. Even the ladies were envious of her beauty, especially Olaide. Olaide is the daughter of a jewelry maker. Her father, Gbajumo, was a wealthy businessman in Iworu. Since their childhood, Olaide had always liked to be the center of attention. She was known to be arrogant, materialistic, and obsessed with power. Life was good until one day, the town crier made an announcement at the village square. He said, "I greet everyone. The ballet sent his regards to both adults and the youths. Our annual celebration, the Oworu Day, is in full moon. This year, the ballet said, and I reiterate, there will be a dancing competition and fashion show, including a singing contest. The winner will win a date with Prince Adewale, among other prizes." The ladies lost their minds once the date with the prince was announced. There was a mystery about the prince, as no one has ever set their eyes on him before. Prince Adewale was hardly ever seen publicly. He was said to be very handsome with chiseled chin. Some even claimed that he has the face of a demigod. The ladies had various images of him in their heads. Preparation was in full swing in Iworu. The ladies were busy picking out their outfits, beads, and hairstyles, especially Olaide, who persuaded her father to hire her a professional dancer and a singer. Even though her attire were custom made, she was determined to win at all costs. One eventful day, Banker was on her way back from the farm when she came across a young man treating an injured cat. She moved closer to the scene. She was fascinated by how gentle he was with the cat. She requested if she could be of assistance to him. He said, "You can help me with a leaf from that cassava tree over there." Banke obliged by handing him the leaf. The mysterious man used the leaf as a bandage on the cat's leg. Banke noticed the cat still couldn't move. She said, "If you truly wanted to help the poor cat, why not take it home for a few days until it can walk? Then perhaps you can release it afterwards." The young man replied, "I honestly would like to do that, but my father will lose his mind. Perhaps you could take the cat home. I will check on it every day and treat its wound personally, if that is okay with you." Banke thought about it for a minute. Eventually, she agreed. She introduced herself, and in return, the young man told her his name is Wale. Banke didn't think much of it. Wale followed Banke as she made her way home. All of a sudden, she said, "Are you sure you are not an evil spirit or a bandit in disguise? Please don't hurt me, please." Wale laughed. He said, "I can guarantee you that with me, you have nothing to worry about. You are safe with me. I am kind of new in Iworu. I hardly go out. I often spend my time studying and traveling." Banke replied, "If you say so. Anyways, this is my house, but still, I'm not inviting you in. What time will you be free tomorrow?" Wale responded, "By noon, I will be here waiting." Banke said, "Good for you. Don't you dare try anything funny. Just stay right in this area." Wale found her bluntness charming. He replied, "As you please, Your Highness." Banke walked into her house with a cat, and Wale made his way towards the palace. Banke and Wale meet every day for 3 weeks straight. At first, their meeting was about treating the injured cat. Soon after, they began taking a walk together. Banke shared her favorite food with Wale. Banke also discussed about her experiences and life goals with him. Wale hardly shared anything, but he was a good listener. Wale was eager and interested in learning about Banke. He found her refreshing and authentic. The day they both agreed to release the cat, they came across Olaide and her minions. Banke and Olaide exchanged pleasantries. Wale said, "Good afternoon" to Olaide. Olaide arrogantly shut him down. She said, "How dare you speak to me? Do you know who I am? Banke, who is this one?" Banke replied. Olaide, calm down. This is my friend, Wale. He just moved to our village. Olaide said, and so what? I don't care who he is as long as he doesn't speak to me. Wale apologized and excused himself from the conversation. Anyways, Olaide continued, how is the Woru Day event preparation going? Banke replied, gradually. We all know you are going to win, Olaide. Olaide agreed with her statement. She said, Banke, Prince Adewale is mine. I have been dreaming and planning my meeting with him. Everything for the event had been rigorously unpicked. I am sure he won't be able to resist my charm when we finally meet. Banke laughed. She said, are you serious? Olade replied, of course I am. Both the prince and I, we came from a prestigious family. We are powerful. I am beautiful. And I'm sure he looks like a demigod. He's perfect for me. And that's why I'm going to crush every single contestant, including you, my dear friend. Banker replied, you have nothing to worry about me. I don't want him. I don't even want to win. Lady said, that's why I like you. You're so adorable. Bye, friend. I am late for my next appointment. Banke apologized to Wale for Olaide's behavior. Wale said, I don't take any offense to her actions at all. You don't have to apologize on her behalf, honestly. After a while, he said, please, don't be mad at me. But I can't help that I overheard you say that you are not interested in the praise. Do you mind elaborating on that? Banke replied, every single girl in this village wants the praise. I don't want a public property for a husband. Also, no one had ever laid their eyes on him. Isn't that weird? I don't know, maybe he's an handicap or a werewolf. Wale found her response amusing. He said, perhaps it is his way of avoiding unnecessary attention on himself. Or perhaps he wants people to know the real him and not this glamorous person everybody pointed him out to be. Frank said, that might be true. I never thought about it that way. I feel sad for the prince though. How would people know if they have never met him personally? He must be a lonely person. Wale tried to say something in defense, but then they had arrived at the spot where the cat was found. Banke released the cat. However, the cat refused to leave. Wale suggested they ran away from the cat. Banke laughed, and they both did. They ran very fast toward the stream, laughing. Breathing heavily, they stopped at the stream. Wale casually jumped into the stream for a swim. Banke waited patiently beside the river, holding on to Wale's shirt. She held it closely to her chest. She said out loud, I'm in trouble. I think I have a crush on him. After a while, Wale strolled over to Banke and splashed some water on her. She ran, but Wale caught up to her. He pulled her towards him. Their eyes met and he moved closer to her. He held her waist and said, in a sexy monotone tone, Banke, I think I'm falling in love with you. Would you like to visit my favorite spot with me tomorrow? Banke replied, I thought you never asked. The next day, Wale and Banke visited a quiet, serene spot right above the mountain. The trees are greener, the flowers are more vibrant. It was a perfect spot in Iboru. Even the sky view looked better from the spots. After they've had a romantic picnic, they both laid on the mat and stared at the sky. You could feel the chemistry between them was undeniable. Later that evening, when Wale walked Banke to her house entrance, he gifted her a beaded bangle. He said, Banke, would you do me the honor of being my lady? I promise to love, protect, and care for you. Banke replied, of course, I would very much love to be your lady. Wale kissed Banke's forehead and watched her walk into her house. This was the birth of their courtship. One day, Banke asked if she could walk Wale home. He replied, I wish you could, but not today, my lady. Banke felt frustrated. She asked, but seriously, Wale, why? Why are you being mysterious yet once again? I can tell from the way you carry yourself and your mannerism that you are from a prestigious family. It's weird not knowing everything about you. Wait, Wale, are you a ghost? Oh my God, I'm in love with a ghost. Wale said, so you are in love with me, right? Banke denied it. She said, I don't remember implying that. Wale continued, but I'm totally and madly in love with you, Banke. But there are things I need to tell you. But you need to trust me. I wish I could do that today, but I need to go now. I'll be going on a trip for 3 days. Let's meet at my favorite spot 5 days from now around noon. I will tell you everything you need to know. Banke agreed. He kissed her forehead once again and left hurriedly. Absence makes the heart grows fonder, they say. Not seeing Wale for 4 days was a lot tougher than Banker had thought. She was lovesick. She couldn't wait to see him again. On the fifth day, as promised, Banker waited for Wale. Hours later, Wale still hadn't shown up. Banker couldn't pinpoint why Wale didn't show up. Was it all a lie? Her hopes were deflated. Eventually, she went back home with a broken heart. She waited for days to hear from him. However, Wale never showed up. Banker cried her eyes out for days. She felt stupid and abandoned. However, life goes on but slowly for Banke. Finally, on the Oworu Day celebration, the villagers were in full celebratory mode. The event was a full blast. Banke wasn't optimistic about it. She just wanted the day to be over with. The king and the council elders were all seated. The arrival of Prince Adewale was announced. The crowd went wild. The prince had a beaded crown covering his face. He sat next to his father, the king of Oworu. The contestants began showcasing their talent one after the other. Banke was to go after Olaide. Surprisingly, Olaide outperformed everyone. She received a standing ovation. When Banke stepped on the stage, she started singing when suddenly she bursted into tears. The young prince walked up to her and handed her an handkerchief without uttering a single word. Banke couldn't fathom why the wed prince was being nice to her. Regardless, her performance was horrible, but she didn't care. All she wanted was to get out of there. After the last contestant, everyone was waiting eagerly for the results. Meanwhile, Olaide was sitting pretty and confidently, waiting for her name to be called. Banke received the shock of her life when her name was announced. She laughed. That can't be me. Obviously, there is another Banke. Perhaps the announcer made a mistake. Is this a joke? Why would the prince want anything to do with me? My performance was terrible. Olaide was fuming with anger and envy. She said to Banke, "What have you done? You don't deep down your soul that the prince is mine. You don't deserve him. I, Olaide, deserve him. You have no clue of the amount of work and preparation I had put into this. I'd rather die than have you steal him from me." Banke tried to explain to Olaide, but her arrogance and inability to understand the situation was more disappointing to Banke. A few moments later, Banke received an invitation from Prince Adewale. Banke was invited to the palace court where the prince was waiting for her. She declined. He said, "Apparently there has been a mistake. The person you are looking for is Olaide, not me." She was informed that disobeying the prince is disobedient to the crown king. This could have a serious effect upon her and her family. Banke took a moment to reconsider her decision. She agreed to go with them and get the situation over with. When she got to the palace, Banke said, "Your Highness, I greet you. I am sorry, but I think there has been a misunderstanding. It is not me that you want, it's Olaide. I have someone who I'm seeing, so you and I can never work. And also, I'm going to kill him when I see him for standing me up for days. Thank you for your understanding. I should take my leave now." She took a bow and was about to exit when the prince grabbed her hand. He said, "Banke, I am sorry for not showing up as promised." Banke was dumbfounded. His voice sounded very familiar. Prince Wale took off his beaded crown to reveal his face. Banke rushed towards the prince and hugged him tightly. They shared a very passionate kiss. He said, "I have missed you terribly." Suddenly, Banke pushed Wale away from her. Her facial expression changed to anger, then to uncertainty. She said, "You lied to me about who you were. Were you playing with me all this time? You deceived me. You thought if I knew your true status, I wouldn't have loved you." She cried. Angrily, she said, "I don't want to ever lay my eyes on you again. Wale, Prince Wale, or whatever who you are. I don't care. Just stay far away from me." She rushed out of the palace crying. Later that evening, her mother found her in her room crying. She confided in her mother about what had happened. Her mother said her reaction was understandable but was too harsh. Perhaps she should have asked the prince for an explanation before jumping into conclusion. Margaret tried to get the prince off her heart. However, her brain kept reminiscing about the passionate kiss over and over. The following day, the prince visited Banke. She was happy to see him but pretended otherwise. The prince explained that his intention was not to hurt Banke. Meeting her the first day wasn't planned, and he had never thought in a million years that he would fall endlessly in love with her. He explained further that his travel plans were delayed because his carriage was robbed by bandits. Two of his guards were badly injured, and he had to see to it that they received adequate medical attention before they could return to Iworu the night before the event. Banke was pleased with his explanation. She worried if he was hurt during the attack. Adewale said that he was trained in combat training and was able to defend himself. The two lovebirds rekindled their relationship. Banke introduced the prince to her parents properly this time. They promised to keep his identity secret. Olaide barged into Banke's house one day. Banke and Prince Wale were sitting under the plantain tree chatting. Olaide directed her question towards Wale. You had better warn your woman friend to stay away from Prince Adewale. He is in bind. Did she tell you she had a secret meeting with him after the event? Wale replied, so you are talking to me now? Yes, I am aware she had a meeting with the prince. In fact, the prince informed me about it. Olaide asked, how did you know the prince? Wale replied, we are kind of related. Olaide moved closer to him and said, so you are like a cousin to the prince, eh? You and I definitely need to be friends. I knew there was something special about you the first day I met you. Suddenly, she moved closer to him and said, please help me. I will give you anything and any amount to have a one-on-one introduction to the prince. Wale said, that would be unnecessary. Olaide replied, it is necessary for my soft sparkling heart that beats only for Prince Adewale. She turned towards Banke and said, Banke, this is my first and final warning. Stay away from my man. And this thing between you and I called friendship is over and done. Olaide frantically walked out after her bombshell declaration. 2 days later, Olaide received an invitation from the palace from the prince. Olaide said, this is the best news ever. The prince finally sees me. To her surprise, she found out that Prince Adewale and Wale are the same person. Instantly, Olaide was overcome with regret and shame. She regretted treating Wale arrogantly the first day they met. Olaide could not move on with her life. She was stuck on the ideal of being with the prince. Her father offered her everything, including a prince from another village. However, the obsession Olaide had for the prince was too strong that it almost drove her insane. Her father had no choice than to take her to another village where she could start a new life. A year later, Banke and Prince Adewale got married, where his face was revealed. The ladies were envious of Banke's luck to have been able to charm the handsome prince's hearts. The story of Olaide is still very much being told till today in Iboru village. Olaide is still actively arrogant till this day. She found her own prince, who is as obsessive and arrogant as she is. They lived arrogantly in love with each other. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next episode. The end. Ó dàbọ̀ o.